Welcome, everybody, one and all, to the 57th episode of the Unbanned Podcast, and Jordan was not ready again. Imagine that. Imagine Jordan not being ready.
Justin, did you see what I did there?
Were you doing the Twitch song?
No, I did.
Were you doing the
I did this, and I went DMCA.
The DMCA.
Yeah, that's what all Twitch is doing. DMCA. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, let's start out some visual gags to fuck over the audio listeners.
Let's make sure the audio listeners are out within 10 seconds of the beginning of this.
Audio listeners, we're moving our arms to make the letters. There you go. All right, let's move on.
My name is Jake the Jackal, and these are my two best friends in the whole wide world. I have a cat in my lap. I'm going to have to cut that. Hi. Sorry. I had a cat invade my little recording.
She almost fell. We're both getting assaulted by cats right now. I had to let Gizmo in. He keeps meowing at the door.
It's okay.
Did she just hop up?
She's a good cat. She can hang out.
You not see her tail?
Okay?
No. She's so sweet, dude.
Look at her tail. Yeah. It's right there right on the
She's
neck.
like, you saved me.
Well, goodness. We're just going to have to cut this because of cats.
Yeah,
that's what we call a cat cut in the business, because your cat did some shit while you were trying to make content.
Shout out to the best movie of 2019.
Let's just...
Looks like she's trying to drain your life force with her tail. And she was like plant the end of her tail on your neck. And it's like,
she doesn't. She would never do something like that. She's too big of a cat.
She would never do something like that. She's a murderous killing machine, but she's amazing.
I'm just gonna pop into the.
Do we just restart?
No, we're just gonna cut that little bit where she almost fell because that was worrying. But now I'm just gonna cut to like right here. And now I have a cat in my lap, and we can finish the intro. So my name's Jake the Jackal, and these are my two best friends in the whole wide world. We got Justin.
My name's Jeff.
You're lying.
Why does he lie? And Jordan.
Why does he lie? What's up, everybody? I'm Jordan, also known as Is It Fox?
No, his name's Jordan. Don't believe him.
Motherfucker.
I couldn't figure out which cat that was. That was such a different meow.
That one's staying in.
And that's
staying in. That's not going anywhere.
Dude, this is the bane of our existence when we freaking record the stuff.
Yeah, sometimes you just
animals.
get a cat.
You love them, but they ruin it. I tell you.
This week we're going to talk about some video games and cats. So,
whoa.
What's your cat's name? My cat it's actually my girlfriend's cat, but I love her. Her name's Agatha, and she's very sweet.
This is Gizmo. He's my roommate's cat, but he loves me more than them, so he always hangs out with me. Probably because I give him attention all the time.
Get fucked, Jordan's roommate.
Did you hear that meow? That was him agreeing.
Yeah, one of these days I'm just going to have to go through and like actually censor all of the swears in the first 5 minutes so that we can get monetized.
I mean, let's wait until we're actually getting monetized before we worry about demonetization. Let's be honest here.
Look, that's how I treated YouTube. It was, I'm just going to swear in it and just not monetize my videos in the first place.
Yeah, can't remove me from the algorithm if I'm not participating. That's some 4D chess right there.
Yeah, baby. You're going to find me on accident and because you typed the wrong word in the search bar.
I was meaning to type in decision, but unfortunately I had a seizure on the keyboard.
Unfortunately, my iPhone is not the best autocorrector.
Oh, goofy.
I was looking for Decision Justin.
You ever really get in an awkward situation where you're like, you try to type jock and for some reason it says cock, and then it's just a whole mess because you sent that to this girl you were going to go to get pizza with, and now she's... Look, it's a problem.
I'm crying, man. So, Jordan, why don't you lead us into our first subject of the day? I was going to make a joke and like baby talk to Agatha, but I gave up on it halfway through, much like Twitch did on dealing with DMCA issues.
Yeah, we're not going to go over what we've been playing this week, except... wait, hold up. We should ask
Justin, have you been
Justin,
playing
what
anything
playing this week?
No.
Not really?
Hey,
okay, cool.
Audience.
Yeah, this week...
You want to guess what we've been playing?
It's RuneScape.
You didn't even give me a chance to answer.
You're not the audience?
I'm sorry.
I was going to say freaking Wave Race.
I'm literally selling Chaos Runes on RuneScape right now. Look, it's not that hard. It takes
Programming
some
isn't
time.
that hard.
I'm fully focused. Programming's not that hard. You just drop the media file. Anyway, so what happened with Twitch and DMCA stuff? Well, a bunch of Twitch streamers got banned, and they were going over why they got banned, and it's really weird and complicated. It has to deal with copyright law. So basically, you can now get banned on Twitch for in-game music, as in the game you are playing, the music in it can get you banned, because with the case of certain games, they have a license for that music. A lot of the time, they don't pay to have that license forever. They have it for a limited time, and after the license is over, the game company will normally remove the music from the game, or they don't and they get in trouble. And in the case of Twitch streamers, they were getting in trouble because they were playing games with not copyright-free music after the license had expired, and the music companies are greedy assholes and just go, we're going to DMCA you. We DMCA you so quick. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Jordan and I watched the same example video, but it was one of the devs for the Friday the 13th game, and basically they had some music from like the Misfits, and I think Alice Cooper was another person, and the basic gist is they bought the rights to use those songs in their game. There's a button you can press to turn them off if you do plan on streaming the game, but the thing is they have the rights to like the soundtrack stuff, like, you know, the background tracks that they made for the game. They have access to those and the rights to those, and they basically give them to streamers to put on their stream in forever. Yeah. But the Misfits and Alice Cooper, they just gave them a license for the game. They don't actually have broadcasting rights. Apparently, once you broadcast it, it becomes more like radio, where you're actually playing it to gain money off of it in the eyes of the law, which is why DMCA takedowns work for this.
Yeah. Anytime it's in a YouTube video or on a Twitch stream, it counts as being on the radio, because I like working with laws that were written in the 80s.
Yeah, so this is the biggest...
late 90s.
This is the biggest issue with this interpretation of the law, honestly, is that it makes it so that basically any artistic anything you could probably argue this with. Right now it's being used for music, but for example, let's go and say the composer for the Assassin's Creed original series, eventually he comes back and it's decided he owns the rights to those songs. Well, if you play the original Assassin's Creed, like, it doesn't matter. He owns those songs. It doesn't matter if they're part of something he was contracted to do. And this is hypothetical. This is just me making stuff up. But I could see it happening that all of the rights eventually like go back to the original composer or something like that. And whoever represents him gets all the money from everything because their song is in X video of Assassin's Creed being played. Yeah. It's just, it doesn't make any sense where our media is so incredibly permanent.
Well, and the other thing that I've seen is that you mentioned people have started using this for other media. I've seen a couple of game companies. Hey, Nintendo. Remember Nintendo on YouTube?
I was going to bring that up, yeah.
Yeah, Nintendo on YouTube, you used to not be able to play Nintendo games because their footage of their game would get claimed, because technically they don't ever give you the right to record their game and make money off of it. So they would claim it. And apparently there are some game companies who are like, yeah, we don't really like the people stream our games. We don't like the free advertisement it gives us, so we're going to start claiming them. Not anyone has done it yet, but I've seen a couple of game devs say that, yeah, they would totally do that. I'm just like, first off, why? Why would you do that?
Dude, we just hate people playing our games.
Yeah, like, why would we want free advertising where people get to see the game in action and see how much fun it could be so that they'll buy it? And why would we ever want that?
It's not free. That dirty scum on the console is stealing our money because they're paying him to play the game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're paying him to play the game and not buying it, because they would definitely buy it if they, instead of watch it. 100%.
I know.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that stopped anyone from doing that, like making like a license that you have to buy to like stream a particular game, or like a fee you have to pay, is 100% just because it's hard to argue that any of the and for copyright, and the DMCA is a special case. It is a different law than standard copyright law. It's an addition, which is why it's able to be used like this, as far as I understand it.
Yeah.
For regular copyright law, you have to argue that someone else's infringement will damage your product, will take money out of your pocket, basically. That's the way that, like, you can have a movie and a book that are named the exact same thing, and they can even have similar plots, but they are separate copyrights. It's because they aren't in the same market. The movie probably doesn't take away from the book sales because book readers aren't necessarily movie watchers. This is the same way game playthroughs work. Just because I watch someone play Welcome to the Game 2, that doesn't mean I would enjoy playing that game, and that doesn't mean I will actually buy it. But
in the case of stuff like Welcome to the Game 2, a lot of people watch it. Not a lot of people interested in actually playing.
Actually, that's a perfect example because while I will not enjoy it and did not buy it, I bet you there's a lot of people who saw that game, didn't know about it, and did buy it.
Yeah, probably helped a lot. And I see the whole DMCA thing as BS. It just lets corporations, it just gives corporations a bat, essentially. Because it's like, if you look at the music industry as well, it's so exploitative. They royally fuck over their artists.
They're like,
all the time. Pretty
like
much constantly.
It's like they got the hammer power up in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
It's just running
They're
around
just,
everybody's bam,
just
bam.
like, bam, bad contract, bam, bad contract, bam, bad contract. And it's just like, oh my god.
The funny thing is,
I've watched a couple of
some of the like, we complain about DMCA, but I've heard about Japanese copyright law, and essentially there isn't free use in Japan.
Dude, that's even worse.
Yeah, so there are situations that are worse, but I think that the whole thing needs to change at some point.
It's feeling like the more accessible it is, the least it feels like the more accessible doing this stuff is, the less it becomes accessible.
Yeah,
because of stupid garbage like that.
It's because companies like to be the fun police. They're like, wait, hold up 1 second. We're not making money off this? Well, fuck that then. We need to ruin it. We need to get in there and immediately ruin it.
Dude, we need the $30 of ad revenue from this video in our multi-billion-dollar industry.
Justin, I don't think you understand. As CEOs of Unbanned Corporation, Unbanned Incorporated, right? As the CEOs, we need to make that $30. Otherwise, how are we going to buy our 12th yacht? We need every $30 we can get.
Dude, I only have a house in 43 states.
I think it's funny that you think you'd be the CEO of Unbanned.
Yeah,
okay,
I would
fine.
definitely be.
Hold
I'm
up,
the
you're
maniac.
Right. You can be the CEO, but I'm going to be the CFO because I'm actually good with the finances.
Can I be the director of culinary innovation?
Sure.
It's straight up my favorite title of any fast food
That's
place.
going to be, if we ever actually make this into like an actual business, that's going to be your job title. Get used to it.
We can give, dude, if we make an LLC, we can give whatever job titles we want. We can get plaques.
I can be a commander.
Yeah.
I can be Commander Justin.
Yeah, let's become an LLC. Yeah, woo. Yeah, fuck corporations.
So,
this
is something that I like talking about, though, is some of what is happening with the DMCA is people... So basically, let's go and say you're a big CEO. You're not very hip to what the kids are doing, but you got a lot of money, and you'd like to make more money. So we hear about this ninja guy who is playing video games and getting a lot of money off of it. And you look and you say, hey, isn't that my game? Well, my company's game that we made and we own the rights to. I bet you that we could get a lot of money if we hit those with DMCA claims. And basically they don't, but they still do it anyway. Because maybe they get ninja money.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Twitch actually does some shit about this because let's be honest here. No, I mean, I want them to straight up lobby against the DMCA because in my opinion, why would you not? You've got these other corporations who Amazon, who is owned by Twitch, directly compete with and work with because Amazon sells a shit ton of music and they're getting into making a lot of music and making a lot of movies. And these other companies keep DMCAing one of your cash cows because they're allowed to. I would say fuck that. If I was bigwig corporate entity, I would say no, fuck them. They don't get a profit off of one of our companies because they abuse this antiquated law. Get someone to go pay a senator $10. Literally, suck a senator off and pay him $10. They'll get it fixed in a week.
So the truth of the matter is that they would rather take the third route, which is we're not going to fight against it. We're not going to accept it. We're going to give you a way around it, which is exactly what Soundtrack is. Soundtrack,
yeah.
They made Twitch Soundtrack, and Twitch Soundtrack, for anyone who doesn't know, is an add-on you can add to your streaming software that plays music. The cool thing it's supposed to do is it keeps track of the music being played and removes it from the VOD. So on the live show, if you're watching live, you can listen to the music, and then on the VOD, it's removed. So you don't make like a store of you listening to the music. Now, this still doesn't get around broadcasting laws, but it does make it so that there's no like saving of a song. And right now it's with Twitch approved songs only. It's not with any music, but if you could make a software that just removes it, whatever is being played, like you could listen to whatever you want and not actually have a saved version of a particular copyrighted song.
Or theoretically, you could have no music for the audience, but you could just put in headphones.
I mean, you can literally just do that.
Yeah. That's a very real thing that can happen, though, that software.
Yeah.
Just like you can play any music you want and this software will remove it. Because that was one of the craziest things I saw was there's a program that recognizes like when you press a button on a fight stick and then cancels it out. It'll like kind of make the sound slightly muffly, but you won't hear it. Like you hear 2 hits of the buttons, then you won't hear anything through the entire time playing, and they're just talking and it's just somehow ripping this click sound out.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
So I see that being a thing coming sooner than later.
I can see it being a thing too. The other thing, and this was in an Asmongold video that Jordan watched as well, but he mentioned that it really doesn't make sense that I can't buy a license for copyrighted music to play on my stream. According to him, if you go to these actual companies like Universal Media Group and all that, and you're like, hey, I do broadcasts. I would like to pay you, like a radio station does, to play music on my stream. They laugh you out of the room. They won't work with you.
That's so stupid.
And they have...
Because you're not a movie or a radio.
Yeah, because you're not actually radio. Which is ridiculous.
Because nobody listens to radio anymore.
Yeah. No. Well,
the only time I listen to the radio is I start my car and then in between my phone connecting to the Bluetooth.
Which just shows how out of touch they are.
The truth is podcasts and Twitch, those are like the new radio. Podcasts are radio shows. They are. And they're better. Yeah, exactly. They are 100% better than radio shows. It's a radio show that you have a recording of that you can listen to whenever. It's fantastic.
And you can say bad words.
And you can say bad words, yes. There's not as much regulation on it. I can actually express myself creatively. Imagine that shit.
Dude, I'm just waiting for all these companies that are like, oh man, radio is still important to... I'm waiting for them to have the culture shock of realizing that, like, not only does radio not matter anymore, but like 90% of media doesn't matter anymore. It's like, I wonder how these old farts are going to... No offense to any old people out there, if you're very in touch, by the way. But I just wonder how these elderly gentlemen are going to react when the movie theaters don't come back. Because there's a lot of people saying, the movie theaters ain't coming back, dude. They're going to stay closed after COVID. Like, they're done. Because they were already on the way out. And it's just like, if you go to any country besides America, do you know where most people actually, like, game? Like, Japan, China, India...
Korea.
Shit, basically like
South Korea.
South Korea. 90% of people game on their phones. Like, this is actually cool because we can use this to transition to our next thing about consoles. And I want to talk about the new consoles because consoles came out. But like, even PCs are like antiquated, it feels like, because no one uses them. People, like, India has an esport now that was based off of mobile game. It was like PUBG Mobile was their esport. I'm just like, they play on their phones. And it's just like, that's how everyone, aside from America feels like we're behind like by 10 years, man. Anyway,
if they can give me the same gaming experience on a phone that I do on my computer, I just plug it into a screen. Yeah, I wouldn't have a computer. And that's...
I mean, for some people, they just like the mobile thing. They're just like, this is all I need. I don't need another thing. I'm fine with the touchscreen.
Those are the casuals.
Or they'll buy like a little
controller. The casual gamers.
I mean, yeah, but there's been... Basically, I'm just saying, like, I've seen pro scenes of mobile games, dude. It's nuts. It's so cool. And anyway, I can use that to go into our discussion about consoles.
Look at you. You're the host the DMCA thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm good with segues, so I help out.
I mean, he said he was the CEO.
Yeah, so. I am the CEO. No, I'm the CFO. He's the CEO.
Can I be the CGO?
So, new consoles came out, and everyone's getting into playing them and everything, and that's very cool. I'm looking at it all and saying, why do these exist? I have to be honest. I keep looking at consoles. I'm like, why are these a thing? Are consoles, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. I asked the question, are consoles on their way out? Like, do you think this will be maybe the last generation of consoles?
Yes.
Because I just don't know why they exist. 90% of people game on their phones, and then the other 10% seem to just get a computer.
I think that this might be the last console generation as we know it. I don't think Sony and Microsoft are done doing consoles. I don't think they're... If people are willing to buy them, I don't really see them stop producing them. But I think this is the last version of consoles as like this all-in-one box that you just buy as it is. Microsoft already had talks about how you're supposed to be able to customize this one, make it a little bit more powerful, change it a little bit. And I think that that's more like what we're going to be going down. I think that they might just get into like, kind of like how Valve made Half-Life Alyx exclusive to their VR system. Even though it's not really a console, it's more of like an add-on for your PC. I could see them going down that kind of route of like, hey, here's our PlayStation stick you put into your TV or your PC or something like that. And it comes with the controllers. And it's not actually a full console that you pay $400 for, but it's still their proprietary system that lets you play their games. And I don't like that idea that you have to have like basically like a DRM stick, but I guarantee that's where it's going.
I can kind of see that. I just, until recently, I'd only been console gaming, and I think consoles will stick around for their simplicity, I'll call it.
Right. Being
able to just go to a store, pay $500, bring it home, plug it into your TV and your wall, and you're set.
But
and then you have to connect to Wi-Fi and then figure out how the controller turns on.
And then you have to download the day one patch, and then you have to hope it works. And then,
but all in all, I think the simplicity of it makes it easier for, like, it's really strange saying this, but like, I don't want to call them poorer families, but families who can't afford, or families or individuals who can't afford a gaming PC.
Right, and a console is much easier to share than a PC. That is one place where I can say very easily, like, most PCs are meant to be used by, like, one person. You can't easily play, like, multiplayer very well. You have to have a specific setup for it. You can definitely do those things with a PC, but you have to go about them in different ways than you would a console. A console is basically plug and play. But let me ask you the question. What is more simple? Buying a $500 console every year, or paying a $60 a year membership to PlayStation Premium and you download an app on your smart TV?
Or your smartphone. And then you broadcast from your phone to a TV.
I get that, but the novelty is what a lot of people like as well.
I kind of like boxes. Like, I do. I like the console box and how you plug it in and everything. As soon as they figure out how to stream games, I think that that's right out, though. I just don't think there's a point to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how quickly that's going to be.
See, honestly. I'm looking even further in the future because, like, I think consoles are going to go out within the next 10 years. I think they're going to adapt into something that doesn't even look like current consoles. Like, I think they'll still be around, but they're going to be... I don't know what they're necessarily going to do, but I agree. I think this box contains gaming console. It plays PS3, PS4 games, you know? I think that's gone within 10 years. But then beyond that even... I don't think we're even going to be gaming on PCs anymore, dude. I think we're going to go straight VR one day. I think people will always want to play games with a mouse and keyboard, but it's like, realistically, if you can fit an entire VR headset, like all the components you need for VR, put it in an Oculus Quest, right? And it's like all in one thing, fully immersive, and then you can hook up like a mouse and keyboard to it, even. It's just so much more convenient. It's the form factors down, like the experience is really immersive. I've seen some people who've messed around with VR and they've made their room in it. They'll capture their room and then they'll like take different bits of furniture and put it where it is in the room. And it's like, and that's really nice if like you don't really have a lot of space because it really makes you feel like you're in a different place. You can set up different themes and stuff so that it's like, I live in the city and I can't really get outside, but I want to chill by the lake. You can set it up so that like over there by your mirrors where the lake is at and over there, and then you got like a bench and like a picnic table and stuff. It's like there's just a lot of benefits to it. I think if it works well, I just don't see why even PCs will really stick around. You won't need them.
I think you're going a little too Ready Player One on this.
I think that is something that could very well happen. I think if it all worked that well, totally could happen.
I just think it's a little too niche.
And you know, Elon Musk wants to put chips in our brains. Might happen.
I think it's
like I could be wrong, but
I think it's niche now because it's hard to set up. It's clunky. The interface of VR as it is a little bit hard to get into as well. The headsets currently have a lot of issues for a lot of people. They're not very friendly for like people with glasses, for example. They're not very friendly for people who are prone to motion sickness. But these are issues that you can figure out. Like we do understand motion sickness. We can find a way to like make that better. And they're already working on gameplay, software side fixes for that. I'm waiting for someone to find a hardware fix, some sort of gyroscope that maybe like hooks up to your head and makes you feel like you're stable. I don't know how that would work, but it sounds possible to me.
Yeah. I mean, and it's possible one day you'll literally just have a fucking holodeck.
It's possible.
I think, I don't think I would ever 1000% embrace VR until they had like the treadmill thing where you can walk in it. Cause that's what I don't like about VR.
I would get so much exercise if I had that little octagonal Omni treadmill that you can just run on.
I mean, I know you don't have a VR headset. I don't either because it's expensive.
Well, my roommate used to have one, so I've played on VR a decent amount.
Yeah. What one thing that I've seen a lot of VR games have done to fix the whole movement thing, which apparently feels really good, is you just wave your arms as if you're running. Like you do the run in place thing. And apparently it feels really natural because anytime you're walking, your arms move. It's just a thing that you can't ever stop.
It makes you want to move.
Huh?
It makes you want to move as well. It makes you want to walk.
I mean,
and I think
perhaps I don't know that I would want to walk if I'm gaming.
Like I feel like I'm doing a Fortnite dance when I do that. Where I'm just like,
I gotcha.
I'm gonna make your camera the full screen when you do that. By the way, it's gonna be great. Now,
and that's a legitimate concern. There might be some people who still want like console controller, and I think that will still be a market for some people, but I think it'll become niche like PC building was in the early days, where some people will just be like, I want to make gaming consoles.
Well, I prefer mouse and keyboard controls for a lot of things, but I know for a fact that I'm a minority for a lot of that. Like the console gamer, I think the average gamer just prefers controllers. They're just simpler, they're easier to pick up. You don't have to do as many keybinds.
I did for games like Monster Hunter until I tried mouse and keyboard, and I just felt that with that game especially it worked better. But some games I do prefer I prefer controller too. So
yeah, my hands cramp up too much to do mouse and keyboard too much.
Yeah.
Get that carpal tunnel.
I need to take a break from it every once in a while, but yeah, I agree. To get onto like the actual consoles, if we want to move on to that.
Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to make one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
I will fully embrace VR if I can get a Master Chief helmet, and it's got like a screen for the visor.
Yeah,
I will fully embrace playing like a FPS with that on.
I mean, with a little bit of machining, you could make an Oculus Quest that, literally. I'm just saying, like, I don't have access to a 3D printer, but there are some places you can pay online that do, and maybe, I don't know.
It'll take a lot of engineering and stuff like that, and knowing how to wire.
I don't think it would even... I gotta be honest, I don't think you would even... You could literally just make a shell that does it. I think you could take the dimensions of like an Oculus Quest, give them to like a manufacturer for you, and they could probably just make it for you. Like cosplay manufacturer would knock that thing out in a day. But again,
I would need full movement and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play Halo with a Master Chief helmet on and have full movement, like not just... playing Time Crisis.
I feel like you and I have had very different experiences with VR, because for me, when I've messed around with VR, that's what it's been like. I've never felt like VR was like playing Time Crisis. I felt like it was very much immersive, but I don't know. Anyway.
It was the teleporting that got me, but...
So,
yeah.
I don't really know about the consoles. Jake, tell me all about it, because I haven't really paid attention, aside from that one that lit on fire.
I watched a nice little review by Maximilian Dude about the Xbox Series X. I have not seen anything about the PlayStation 5 yet. I assume it's not actually out yet. Hold on.
It comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow, so I don't have any information on the PlayStation 5.
12th.
So I guess this is Xbox Series X. So I saw the thing Maximilian Dude did. He wasn't allowed to actually play any of the Series X games yet, but he was allowed to try the backwards compatibility. It works very well.
Yeah.
If everything loads up really fast, that's something that he noted was really cool in his video, was how quickly things move. The SSDs really make it move really fast. You click on something, it doesn't really load. It just kind of snaps and does what you want it to. Which is nice.
That's cool.
There was an unbelievable video. Sorry to interrupt. There was an unbelievable video by Maca91 who showed how quickly it is from pressing the power button to quick starting a game was like 2.5 seconds. It was unfreaking believable. It was like on, start game, I'm in.
And having two SSDs in my PC, I can tell you that you hit the button to start up and it's up. Like you're in. It's fantastic. And that's not, I think the only thing I'm not really into about the new systems, both of them, PlayStation 5 and Series X, is that it's just an SSD. We have better technology than that right now. We have better memory. You can get it for not that much more than SSD. I'm saying like $30 more.
You're saying the problem is the same problem that consoles always have, is that they're usually like good for the year, and then like next year they're
like if I was to build,
they just can't release a new
top of the line PC. I probably wouldn't use an SSD as the main operating system drive. That being said, the other really cool thing that is really highlighted from the SSD is the fact that you can suspend a game in like it'll stay loaded and running, and then you can go to another game and play it at the same time, which is a feature.
Yeah,
I'm sounding so cynical this episode, but so they allowed me to alt tab.
Yes. The difference is that most PC games, if you alt tab, a lot of them will freeze. They'll stop the gameplay. What Max showed on his stream is he actually started Dark Souls 2 or 3, one of them, which was the, I think the Xbox 360 or Xbox One version. I don't remember what it came out on. But it came out, and he put the disc in, and it was on the disc drive, and it was loading. And he went over to Panzer Dragoon, played Panzer Dragoon for a second, and he came back and it finished loading. So it's actually legitimately running 2 games at the same time. Now, whether that works as well with an actual Series X game that's supposed to be in 4K running at 60 FPS with his top line, new textures and everything, I don't know if it'll work that well. But for 2 really old games, it worked really great.
Yeah, that was one thing on the Xbox One that pissed me off, was playing a game, like going to the home menu for something and then accidentally selecting another game, and it's just like, goodbye data. That was fun. Good thing you didn't save in the last 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's rough.
The other thing, the only criticism I could levy at the whole Alt-Tab thing, I'm going to call it the Alt-Tab feature, is how useful is that actually going to be? Because if the load times aren't bad, realistically, there's not a point where you're going to want to necessarily leave one game open. Just because if it was an older game, I can see why you might want to do that, because saves were weird in older games. So you might not have time to finish, so you just pause and you're like, okay, I'm going to go play this other game with my friend because he's on, and then we'll come back to this later. But new games have modern save features where if you can pause the game, pretty much you can save by pausing. So it's just like, if the game loads quickly, it wouldn't take that long to just save the game, exit it, open up other game, then go over.
That's assuming the game acts correctly. Like there's some games that don't have autosave, and I don't get it either.
But the ones that don't have autosave normally don't pause the action when you hit the pause button either, like Dark Souls, because they're normally designed to be like, hey, we have set checkpoints.
Dark Souls autosaves like every 5 seconds.
Yes, but oh wait, yeah, you're right. You can just leave the game. Never mind, you can get to a safe spot.
Maybe
I always thought of the bonfires is where I saved, probably because I'm an addict and I just never actually stopped playing until I got to the bonfire.
Yeah, you can quit that game at any point.
I know.
Okay, yeah, I make a good point. Never mind.
I know the exact reason why you would use that.
Mm-hmm.
Speed running.
Yeah, speedrun 2 games at the same time.
Speedrun 2 games at the same time. You know how actually cool that would be?
Do each Dark Souls game in a row and just have them all loaded. That way you can go right into the next one.
Well, you can only do 2 at a time. So you do like 1 and 2, have 1 and 2 ready.
Dude.
And then once you beat the first one, whichever one that is, switch it for 3. Just like that.
So what you're telling me is this is actively worse than alt-tabbing between the 3 games. Gosh dang it.
I'm saying that'd be funny.
I will say that,
that would be cool.
Looking at what I've seen of the Xbox Series X, I haven't seen a lot of things that really wow me about it. Like some of the features that the PlayStation 5 are bringing, like the little guides like built into the system, that's something that I legitimately might use. I don't.
It has guides built in.
Yeah.
You can, so it's got game facts, like people can just
the
post
developer
guides.
is able to basically make guides to their game available in the game, so it will give you hints.
I want to make
stuff.
a game now. I want to make a game for the PS5 because, as we know, Sony's quality control on their online store is absolute dog shit. So I'm gonna make like acid flip thing, and in the guides, I'm just gonna have an ASCII like art of a middle finger.
I was about to say, every game does that. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, you took 3 steps. Here's how you walk.
No, not like that. Not like that.
No, not Assassin's
like
Creed.
to help you through the game.
So it's even further than that.
Assassin's Creed frantically mashing the X or A button, and it's like, please escort. I'm like, I'm escorting. Get me to the fucking end.
It's even more than that. It's like, let's go. The example they used was Sackboy's Big Adventure or whatever it's called, which I'm actually kind of excited to play because I really like Sackboy. But in it,
wait, Media Molecule?
Yeah, it's like a little platformer, Sackboy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go play it. I love Little Big Planet. I missed.
I was gonna say we really needed Little Big Planet 4, didn't we?
Yeah.
So the gist of the system. The gist of the system is that you basically have like suggestions almost. So the example they gave in that game was he completed a level and it was saying, hey, you missed a item back in this level. Would you like to go back into this level and try to find it? So that was, and it's like all sorts of stuff like that. If there's an achievement you missed, if there's like, I don't know, I'm sure that there's lots of things you could do with the system. This is just the base first version. But
it essentially lets the developer have a little more interaction with the player besides just objective screen.
And that's what this one was it was like, hey, you missed this item, and then you popped into it, and you could select it from the home screen. Like it would say, hey, you missed this item over in Sackboy's Big Adventure. Do you want to play Sackboy's Big Adventure today? You click on it, and it will take you right to the level in the game. No menus, no nothing. And they showed that you could just click on it and it would right to that level. And then after that, you could click a button and it showed a developer-made video showing you exactly how to get to the costume if you didn't want to explore and find it yourself.
That's cool. As a completionist, by the way, this would be hell for me. Having those notifications telling me that I missed something.
Oh yeah, it would. I feel like there's a chance that would go very wrong. Where it's like you enter a level, here's 17 notifications that you missed this. Like, I'm playing a game on normal. Hey, did you want to go back to the beginning of that level and beat it on hard and extra hard?
And that's something that's going to have to be handled by... This is the biggest criticism of the system I've seen is, like, it's kind of like notifications on Facebook or those little new markers in, like, dossiers and files and stuff on, like, Mass Effect.
I just really imagine.
Hold on. The biggest criticism I've seen of the system is that the developer has to program these. So it's possible that indie devs just won't do this. Or that it'll be such a complicated system that it'll make it harder to develop.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that could be a definite problem. Or it could be just a feature that no one uses because of the extra time. Also, I was just imagining, like, developer getting really aggressive with the system where it's like hey, you didn't play Devil May Cry 5 on Dante Must Die mode yet. What are you, some sort of pussy? Go play Dante Must Die mode. Get on it.
Come on, bitch. What are you doing? What? No balls?
You didn't get you didn't get an S rank on that mission. You best get back in there, soldier. Get the fuck in there.
Yeah, you no S rank on that? Well, you're getting your own new S rank. Suck. You suck. Loser.
Exactly. It's just like, okay, all right. This is a little much for me. But, I don't want the developer
I hope you can turn them off
like,
as well.
My skills.
I do want that. I want the ability to say, like, hey, I want suggestions, but I don't want guides. I want guides, but I want the customization. If it's not there, that's going to be kind of annoying.
Yeah. I feel like they're going to treat that like, to bring it back to PlayStation, like 6-axis. Where it's going to be like, hey, look, the first few games integrated this, and then nobody else integrated it for the rest of the time.
This was on PlayStation, by
2 months. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like bringing it back to PlayStation. 6-axis was the thing for like what, 7 games?
Yeah, and it actively made those games worse. Like Uncharted 1 is so much better if you don't have a 6-axis controller.
You can't even beat the Ratchet and Clank game that came out because you need 6-axis. So if you bought the DualShock, which doesn't have it, then you just couldn't beat the game.
Do you guys remember Lair? But no one remembers
Lair. I love the idea of Lair.
It was Rogue Squadron. It was a PS3 launch title. It was Rogue Squadron, the Star Wars game, but with dragons, and you had to use the 6-axis to steer the dragon. And apparently, the development studio realized this was a bad idea and that they should have made a way to play with just the controller. And they patched it in, but the game still kind of flopped because by the time they patched it in, everyone said, fuck that, and didn't buy the game. Which is sad.
Or like Until Dawn, where you have 2 choices. You can either use the stick like a human being, or you can hate yourself. And it wasn't... So I'm going to show you how you selected your thing. You would think when you're playing the game, you do this.
Yeah.
To select your option. No, you do this. You have to point the controller at the option.
Like you're fucking driving a tiny go-kart, just...
You have to point the controller at the option. It's not left.
So,
it's not like spinning on the center axis. It's spinning on like the top-down axis.
To sum up our feelings, I think, on the new consoles, we're tentatively excited. they don't seem like they really need to exist for us, and we're glad they don't have motion controls.
Mobile is the future. Long live mobile.
I meant to talk about this. There's already a patch coming to the PS5 because right now you cannot use external storage devices on PS5 games. You have to download it directly to the drive, to the SSD.
Oh no!
Wait, so you can't upgrade the storage
for like backwards? Like I said, they're going to patch it in at some point. But right now, you can only do backwards compatible games on external storage. And for right now, just the PS5 games have to be downloaded directly onto the system.
Jordan is actually dying from that sneeze.
Look, it was a rough day, all right? It was a rough day.
It's like, how do you, like, could you not have held back this? I know holding back the system is not a good thing, but at what point was it like, hey, maybe we should make, like, external storage a priority since our games are fucking gigantic?
To be fair, dude, the system's not out yet. It's just the review copies that have that issue.
It's got a whole, like, 4 more hours left until
the patch
it's
is
out.
coming.
It's crazy.
No, it's pretty ridiculous. I saw like the hard drive size of some of these systems. I'm like, that ain't big enough.
Oh yeah, like the best way I could think of it was if I didn't have a 1 terabyte storage for my Xbox One, if I wanted to put the Halo Master Chief Collection and Halo 5 Guardians on my Xbox, it would take up like, it was like 40% of the space of a normal Xbox, like a 500 gig Xbox.
Yeah, I think the download for Call of Duty Modern Warfare on PC right now is 500 gigs. That's one game.
Wait, 500 gigs?
That is a base like Xbox One S.
Yo. Your textures don't have to be that detailed, dude.
The thing is, like, I'm 100% with them. Like, I don't think you should have to download the single player and the multiplayer if you only want the co-op mode. Like, they should take that out.
Yeah.
And they did. They made
it
so that you could select which portion you wanted to download. But if you want all of it, I don't blame the devs anymore. That is just the reality we're in. And there's 2 people who are not keeping up with this shit. Internet companies and storage companies. Like, memory just needs to get cheaper. Like, you're charging too much for it. Internet companies, your service is shit. Needs to download faster.
I bought like a 4 terabyte hard drive. It's not even an SSD for like $120.
Yeah, hard drives are not expensive anymore either.
But still, that's a lot for 4 terabytes. It's 8 Call of Duties.
While I'm in Jake Rant mode, I have 2 things. So I thought we wouldn't have enough to talk about this week, so I decided to go look up gaming news. So the only thing I found that I was really interested in talking about was, of course, the Xbox release. And one other thing. Gaming sites who do gaming news are trash at gaming news. I saw Marvel Comics like spoilers and like talking about Marvel Comics plot lines, which is not video games. It's cool, but it's not video games. I saw them talking about Disney Plus's release lineup for next month, which is cool, but not video games. There were so many things in these damn news feeds that were not video games. And I had to scroll past 10 of these clickbaity articles of like, what's coming to Disney Plus next month? The top 9 new comics to read to get to, oh, here's our review of the Xbox Series X. And guess what? When I finally got there, it was the Kotaku review of the Xbox Series X, where halfway through, they start talking about recent American politics as if that's relevant to their review, and how you should feel bad for buying a new console because other people are poor. Fuck gaming journalism. It is trash. It needs to be reset.
Can we all agree that gaming journalism went downhill when G4 went under?
Yeah, actually, it was a little bit after that time. Yeah, I don't know, Jake. Did you check like Giant Bomb?
I went through The Verge.
Giant
I went through
Bomb's-
Giant Bomb. I went through GameSpot. I went through Kotaku. I went through IGN. That fucking hellscape. I literally typed.
But did you go on ESPN?
I literally typed gaming news into Google, and I went to every single one trying to find anything relevant to talk about.
Look, the
Dude,
Disney
we just
Plus
need to
thing.
we need to make our own gaming news website, but with blackjack and
I agree.
hookers.
So the Disney Plus thing is relevant because one of the perks to Xbox Game Pass is a month of Disney Plus. So it's relevant. It's gaming news.
Yeah,
Gaming.
yeah. Disney is our
Yeah.
pound us in the ass, Daddy Disney.
Let's not.
What a mess.
Oh, I did want to talk about one
man,
more
gaming's
thing
great.
before we should wrap up the show. We're going a little bit long, but if you have not heard about this, I need to tell you about this. Stop buying things from GameStop. Here's why. They recently had I'm gonna see if I can find the exact wording for this. They recently made a contest for their annual conference for their employees. It is called the GameStop TikTok Challenge. For the contest, GameStop has asked its employees to upload a video to TikTok showing them dancing to a brief song. The contest is meant for store leaders, and the company encourages them to get other employees to help. AKA, your manager, if you work at GameStop, is going to come over to you and say, hey, we have to do a stupid TikTok dance. And
Otherwise, they'll get mad at us for not having enough
I'm
flair.
going to tell you what happens if you won this contest. The store that won, there's only one winner in all of the GameStop locations. There's thousands of them, or hundreds of them, I should say. They get 2 Amazon Echoes, a $100 Visa gift card, and 10 additional labor hours. They get to have people work for 10 hours on corporate's budget. Only to be used on Black Friday.
Holy shit! You do us. You lower and debase yourself for the amusement of TikTok, and your reward is overtime on Black Friday.
The reward is overtime and some shitty devices and a single gift card.
Yeah.
This is out of,
That-
and remember, this is about
that's fun.
the whole corporation, all of the store locations.
That's so fucking funny.
I just want to
That's
leave you
awful.
all
Guys.
with that disgusting taste in your mouth.
Guys, hey guys,
Yeah.
can we make this a Patreon goal? If we get enough money,
Yeah.
we need to A, find the store that wins this, B, fly to this store, and C, laugh at them,
Oh.
and then walk
I'm not
out.
laughing at them. I feel bad already. I'm
I
gonna buy
will-
him Subway.
I will give them a. I'll buy them some. Yeah, I'll buy them lunch
You'll
and give them a
torture them?
hug. The poor bastards.
No, bring them one of those oversized "I'm sorry"
I'm
cards.
sorry.
Just bring it into the store. Like, we need to.
Yes.
That would be great. It's like how people go to a Blockbuster, like the one Blockbuster in America. Like, people just go to that for shits and giggles. We just need to go to the one GameStop that won this stupid competition.
The single GameStop, and we go and we buy them some lunch and we give them hugs.
We
They deserve it.
upload the video on YouTube, and it's just called "We Went to the GameStop."
The one and only GameStop.
All right. I think that's the show, though. I think we're gonna leave it there. Unless you guys want to say a funny joke, so I can stop thinking about
Yeah,
that.
don't vape in your Xbox, you fucking
Oh yeah,
idiot.
there was a.
Is that why that one was smoking? He vaped
Yeah.
into it.
And he
Okay.
destroyed it.
He's like, oh, this will look really cool. Wait, vape
No.
oil is made out of oil, isn't it?
No, it's,
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
try and get a lawsuit from Xbox.
He was trying to fake the smoke by vaping into it. And if you look at the
fried his
if you
Xbox.
look at the smoke, there's no light coming from anything burning. It's just kind of smoking, and it
Yeah.
looks 100% like vape liquid.
He's
Like it
mold.
just is.
Come here.
All right.
Come here.
So, yeah, way to go, idiot.
And if you are
Say
not an
goodbye,
idiot,
Gizmo.
which is none of you watching, because you're watching the best podcast ever, you should go to patreon.com/unbannedcast and throw us $1. You get exclusive pre-shows, clips. You get to hang out with us in our Discord server and special exclusive rooms. Lots of cool stuff.
You get us
Let me
that
tell
much
y'all.
closer to go to that GameStop.
Yeah. You can contribute to us buying that poor GameStop sandwiches. We will buy them at $100. I'll put it at $100 a month. We will buy that GameStop store's fucking sandwiches.
We will call those fuckers up. We will call up those poor GameStop employees, and we'll ask them what type of sandwich they want, and we will order it.
But can we get like a good sandwich place, like not Subway?
It depends on where they live.
Yeah, no, we'll find we should
Can
find
we
a
get 'em,
local
like-
place, maybe.
Yeah, give them a good local sandwich place.
Unless it's in the middle of nowhere and all they have is Subway, in which case we'll have to go with that.
It's gonna be bumfuck nowhere, Missouri.
Because they're just, well, I mean, yeah, I imagine their GameStop might be a little bit slower there, so they have more time for their TikTok.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry for interrupting.
It's all right. I'm just trying to outro. I'm just trying to tell them who you guys are.
dude, in reference to the Patreon and the lovely clips that you will get access to, today things got dark. Today things got a little bit dark.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Anyway, that guy who's talking about things being dark, his name is It Fox. That's It Fox everywhere.
Hey.
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Follow him. He does lots of RuneScape content if you like that sort of thing.
It's like a question.
Yeah, like the question.
After Leagues is over, I'll do other content. Also, Gizmo says bye, everyone. You could
everyone.
hear him meowing this whole time because he wouldn't shut up, but he's adorable.
And then we have dubious_Justin. He's dubious_Justin everywhere. He's that guy in green in the center if you're watching the video one. And if you aren't watching the video one, come watch it. I put a lot of work into editing that thing. And if you're wondering who puts a lot of work into editing that thing, it's me. I'm Jake.
It's me.
I'm Jake the Jackal. And I've been your host. I'm happy to be here, and I'll see you guys all next week.
Everyone stay safe out there. Have some fun with some new video games. Love y'all.
Also,
Bye-bye.
tell me if
hands.
I'm getting better at that outro. I've been practicing. See ya.
Yeah.